Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be doing a little bit of a different take on a restoration. That bayonet I found magna fishing, it's like a 100-year-old bayonet, and it was very pitted, and given an electrolysis will not get all that rust off. It is being stubborn like nothing I've ever seen before. And it has happened before where some of these iron things that are so pitted and so rusted just will not get all that rust off. So we're going to do a little bit different today, and I'll show you what we got going on. But I want to get that thing down to nice clean metal and paint over it so I can get all that junk off of there. So we're going to try something different today. Check it out. Alright, I got you all set up in my little compost bin here. What you're going to need for this: safety glass. You're going to need some wire wheels, either for a drill or for a angle grinder. A drill or an angle grinder. Some rust treatment here. We have a rust treatment to start. We're going to coat it because we're going to be getting this down to bare metal. Normally I wouldn't do that, but for something that's this bad, I'm going to have to do something serious. So we got rust treatment and then just a flat black. Vice grips. So we're going to be need to holding that on unless you got like something else to hold it down. And a battery charger, because you're going to want to do electrolysis before this. So this is kind of our little setup here to hopefully bring that thing right back around. Now this little devil has been in here brewing for like a month, and I just cannot get all the rust off. It's impossible. So that's why we're going to the wire wheel. And like I said, normally I don't do this. Normally I use electrolysis. It all falls off, gets nice and neat, and I'll bake it and do the coating in wax. But I'm just going to do something a little different, trying it out. And I also have down towards the middle here, we have the like the hammer, the lock off of the side of a musket. That will not get clean either. So I got a twofer here, both things being super stubborn. So letting this thing brew has not worked out. So we're gonna get a little aggressive on it, and hopefully we don't ruin it, but a little bit of an experimentation for science. See what happens. See how it turns out. It's already got a hole in the blade, by the way. That rusted right through the first time I went through an electrolysis. And here's what she looks like straight out of the bath. Hopefully you can see, but we already have some holes, and it's very beat up and flaked. So this thing around the edges is pretty rough, but there is some nice solid metal here, so I don't think we're going to be hurting this too bad. We just, down here is really good, but just all around in here will not get all the way clean. This stuff will not come off. So we're going to try to take her down here and get it all cleaned up. It's not too bad. I just want to get it better than what it is and preserve it with the rust treatment and keep it from getting bad, because a lot of some of the other stuff I've done with the wax treatment, rust is still poking through, so I guess I needed to take it down further. But there's some pretty bad rust spots in here still. Just will not get off. So I'll hose it down and we'll get it all set up. Alright, we're going to use the this guy first and go lightly on it, and then we'll get the smaller attachments out and do a little bit better. But we got our safety goggles, safety third. Let's get going. I'm not too worried if the inside gets a little rotten. it was underwater for probably, I don't know. I mean, this is a World War I bayonet, so well, that's over 100 years ago. But I'm liking the results. It's very pitted, and I'm not really worried about getting the pits out, but sure better than this side I started to go over, but I wanted to get over this side first. I don't know why, but I didn't lose that much material either, but it sure looks a whole heck of a lot better. And here we go, folks. That has got some shine if I've ever seen any. That extreme rust color is gone. It's looking pretty good. I have to figure something out for the wood down here. I might do the original wax treatment down here, because this has to be a different kind of metal. I don't know, there's like hints of brass showing through, and then this is a disaster. It's extremely corroded. There's brass in here. I don't know, I might pick away at this under this wood. I don't want to lose the wood. It's kind of amazing that it still has it, and I think this rust is kind of keeping the wood intact, and there's like a hole where the screws were that rusted out. No marks or anything, but actually there is barely can see anything. It's just so corroded, but it's some numbers, I don't know. I can barely see them. I see an N, United, probably, I don't know, US something. It's so far gone. I'll try to grind that a little bit and see if anything comes off. It's just so pitted. That bad boy has got some shine. I like that. We just have to protect it, otherwise this will rust again. Gotta figure that bottom part out though. Well, at least we can preserve the blade. This was the most rotten. Obviously with that big hole there. Sweet. I'm happy with this result. By the way, check out all that rust that electrolysis missed. And I'm sure I missed a lot. It didn't come out in the bucket, but it's quite a bit of rust. Usually it cleans right up for me, but not today. Alright, I'm going to tell you what I have decided here. I am going to do rust treatment and the Rust-Oleum flat black paint on the blade, and I am going to wax the handle, I think. I'm probably going to wax the handle so it preserves that wood and preserves whatever is left with the rest of that metal in the handle, because it's got some brass in there. It's got all sorts of stuff. It's kind of a mess. And I'm probably going to heat up some wax and just dip her on in there and catch any drippings. Either that, or I might just take a brush and melt and brush it on there and let it sit. So I just want to lock it in there so I can save as much as possible. And the blade, we're just going to spray it on up with the rust converter first, and then with our Rust-Oleum. Hopefully that does good. That I'm just gonna wax all that junk that's on there, because I'm picking at it and it's just ripping the wood apart. So wood is tough, but to think it's been underwater for 100 years, obviously it saved it. But that rust made like a nice little cocoon over it, and it's all just, it's a little bit tough. But I'm very pleased with how that blade's looking. It's looking really good, way better than it was before. That thing was horrible, all pitted up and shot to hell, but we got it looking pretty good now, so I'm excited. Let's get to spraying. Okay, we gotta give it 2 coats, only letting it sit for 2 minutes, it says. Trying to keep it off of that other stuff there. Without gently. There we go. Without getting her on the wood. Let it dry 2 minutes. Spray her again. And we gotta let it sit for 24 hours. Alright folks, we got her all sealed up. We got the handle done, we got the blade done. Let me put it in the sun. Not too shabby. I like it. It's not too shiny. It's a little bit shiny. But it shouldn't rust. Absolutely love it. We got some other things brewing we're trying to save. Part at the bottom might be a little dry, or a little wet still, I mean. But everything else turned out pretty good. World War I bayonet. Nice wall hanger here. Saving a little bit of history.